Alrighty, so I just finished my workout, so I decided to do a quick little video when my endorphins are still nice and high over here. Um, so yeah, let's talk about my weight. So I've been relatively skinny like most of my life. I was skinny all through my childhood, through my early 20s, and I really started gaining weight after my second child. When I had my son, I gained 20 pounds total with both pregnancies actually. But with him, I gained 20 pounds total, and then I lost weight after I had him. So I looked great. With my daughter, I gained weight after she was born. And that was because postpartum depression hit me like a ton of bricks. And I did a lot of research. Both of my children were planned. So I was really shocked that I had like postpartum depression. And for me, I like reading books. And if I'm really interested in a topic, I'm like gonna really dive into it and like research as much as I can. So I knew that postpartum depression was a thing. And, I didn't have experience that with my son. So I was like, okay, that's not like my problem in life, thankfully, that's not my thing. And I knew that every pregnancy was different, but I didn't really take into consideration that every postpartum period was different as well. So some things that triggered my postpartum with my daughter, was one, she was born via cesarean because she was breech, and the doctors even tried to turn her and everything, and she just refused to turn around. So she was a C-section. So that sucked. It hurt to laugh, sneeze, do anything with movement. It just hurt. And then she also had a tongue tie. And so breastfeeding was awful until she got it clipped. And so it was just really depressing because my first experience in motherhood, it was like, oh, this is easy. I had this little quick 6-hour vaginal birth with my first time, breastfed for 18 months. Like, I'm like super mom over here. And then she comes along and it's like, what just happened? Like, I'm so confused. So that was rough. And so I gained my weight after the pregnancy, and I thought that was so weird. Like, I wasn't eating for 2 or anything like that. I was just like, had the baby blues. Like, I went for her visit and like, I filled the depression checklist that they make the moms take. And so, it was just, so that's really what triggered it. And then you get busy with life and then excuses and why I can't go to the gym. I'm a mom, I work full time in my career, I'm a wife, I have all these things. And then next thing you know, you're looking at the scale like, how did we get here? Like, I know how we got here, but it's like, I don't feel like I eat enough to be here. I really feel like it's more so the lack of exercise with eating, That's my theory. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm going in on food all the time because I'm always that annoying person, like telling people to be healthy and stuff. I'm not feeding my kid red dye, whatever. It doesn't matter. Obviously, I'm gonna eat something that I'm at this weight. So, and it's people like, well, what was it that like really got you motivated? What was your like, your aha moment, the reality check? And I feel like it's been a lot. Like, it's a couple different things in the span of just say like 2 weeks. The first thing is, well, not 2 weeks, because like a month. The first thing was I went to Howl-O-Scream. That's at Busch Gardens here, the little haunted house or whatever. But I wanted to get on one of my favorite rides. I'm not going to tell you how to ride, so y'all can look up the weight limit and then see how fat I really am. I'm not going to do all that. Anyways, I was too big to get on the ride. Like, no one knew. Side note. So I don't think people really realize how much I weigh because like, it's like this little black girl magic trick where like, our weight kind of starts at like the hips and the booty and like, thigh, like, oh, she looks good, she's thick, but you don't realize that scale is like, girl, you need to get yourself together. So I was at the park and I was walking up to the ride and I've seen people bigger than me, but for me, I'm like, I'm not about to risk my life trying to squeeze onto a ride that clearly states I should not be in the seat. So I just walked away. And then I went up to my husband. He was like, oh, what happened? And I was just like, oh, kind of too big for the ride. And so we just kind of like walked past that one. That was really awkward. So that was the first one. And then I went to my doctor for something like, what did I go to her for? I was having like random swelling in my feet and legs, which I still don't know what the heck what that was about. I think I was just like working too much and I don't know, my body was exhausted. I had like worked corporate America and then I had a doula client at the time. So I don't know. I just went to the doctor for that. But in there, that regular, well, not regular, because that's not normal. You shouldn't be swelling normally. Everything was fine or whatever. But I threw it out there. I was like, hey, you know, I've been looking online. I think I might want to like get the gastric sleeve. And my doctor immediately approved it. And so, you know, I have this consultation, you know, so I'm approved to surgery for weight loss surgery. And so I think it was obviously being out of breath when you walk. That's pretty ridiculous. But not being able to, you know, ride a ride that I've been able to ride my whole life. And then actually not only qualifying, but like being scheduled, like to go get bariatric surgery. Like that's pretty crazy. And so I'm not saying it's the easy way out, because I respect anyone who's like, hey, I want to be healthier. I'm going to take this and, you know, live longer. So kudos to you guys. But for me, I knew I wanted to qualify, my insurance pays for it, but I was just like, I just would never want to leave my kids without a mom, because I had this unnecessary, in my opinion, for myself, my personal opinion, it was unnecessary for me to get this surgery and I die on the table because I couldn't control my fork. Like, how, like, that's a ridiculous reason to leave your kids without a mom, you know? Like, so I was like, okay, you know what? We're not gonna do that. And it's pretty crappy that you even qualify for that, but whatever. So I just decided, like, I'm just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. And I'm gonna document my progress and throw out some accountability there in the universe. And yeah, so welcome to my day one. And I hope you guys enjoy this journey with me that I don't want to be on. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't like the gym. I really don't. I take that back. I don't like, no, I mean, it's not my favorite place. I'm like, oh. I like Zumba and yoga, you know, I like things like that. But to be there like lifting weights, no, it's not my favorite thing at all. And another thing that I feel like also kind of motivated me is, you know, I've spent hundreds of dollars this year on personal trainers, and still fat. So there's that. And so of course, diet and exercise go hand in hand, and consistency is my biggest thing. So it's like, there's always something, you know, like life happens. It's so easy to reschedule a personal trainer appointment because, you know, life gets busy, it's whatever. But then you realize like, you never like made up that appointment that you missed. You just went into next week like you didn't have to be there. So I'm holding myself accountable, and I don't have a personal trainer at this time because, I mean, again, I paid hundreds of dollars and I'm still the same weight. So I definitely do see the value in personal trainers, but I also see the value in you being able to like, you know, have the motivation and the drive and consistency to do things yourself. So once I get to a point where I'm like maybe trying to tone and stuff, I do want to reinvest in a personal trainer. But at this time, I'm not going to really do that. I'm just going to try to like, you know, do it myself and see where that gets me. And I think it is, you know, helpful for me knowing that I'd never had weight issues my whole life. So, and I'm not like a snacker. I'm more of a savory person. I want a meal. I don't want a snack. Okay. I'm not a snacker. I'm just not, that's not my thing. I want food. So that's my problem. So obviously my biggest thing would be portion control. So anyways, if anybody wants to join me on this weight loss journey, we can hold each other accountable. I don't care where you are in this world, we can check in and keep up together. So yeah, welcome to my day one of trying to lose weight naturally. Bye.